Hello, and welcome back to another episode of What the Clams. As always, I am Clams, and today I've got my good friend Calvin here with me. And as we start off here, there's one thing I definitely want to kind of jump to is I want to thank you, man, for your friendship throughout all the years. I mean, you've been one of my friends since like right after my addiction pretty much started. Like right after my mom passed is when I started skating and stuff, and that's when I met you. And you've seen my highs, my lows, and I really appreciate you having the support with me as I went through treatment and stuff like that. So I really appreciate that.
No, dude, it's been amazing to see your whole story and see how far you've come. That's one of the things I wanted to ask you about is coming on the show is if you don't mind talking about it,
Yeah,
your recovery journey that you're into right now.
yeah. I
How's
mean,
things going with that?
I'm getting close to 6 months. I think I'm a little over 5 months now. I'm active in a 12-step program. Working through that. That's also part of the reason why I want to. That's the reason for the podcast is to continue and like stay heavily into that because that's my main focus is the recovery stuff. I want to bring other people on, and that's kind of why I know the main topic that we're going to be talking about today. I don't necessarily have like a whole view on it, but there is an aspect to it that I feel like it should be talked about because it's a fucking giant shared trauma, and because of a lot of my addiction stuff started because of trauma and being diagnosed with PTSD while I was in treatment, getting on the medication, kind of the ups and downs with that. I know that the medication has been kind of a bounce back for me, and I mean I know there's other people that have had the same issues with like getting like the brain zaps and shit like that. So I've been
Yeah.
kind of figuring that part out. But I mean, it's been I don't want to say it's been easy, but it's been a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I think it's just because I was actually finally ready. You
Yeah.
know, I've been fucking I've been using drugs and fucking alcohol since I was fucking 14, dude. Like heavy.
No, I think the good thing for you is you got somebody good in your corner
Yeah.
that is a good partner in life for you.
Yeah. I mean
Um,
that's
you can
I
tell what a
yeah,
amazing change she's been for
she
you. So
fucking that's I gotta give props to my wife too, dude, because she is only a couple weeks behind me. And she's like, all right, I'm with you. Like, she hasn't drank. Like she drank because her fucking um her stepfather pretty much passed, man. That, I get it.
yeah.
Fuck, man, it's hard. But then it was just a couple weeks later, man. She's like, I'm done. I'm not, it's not helping anything. You're sober. I want to support you by being sober too. And
Yeah.
it's pretty fucking cool. I think she's actually just a few days away from hitting 5 months herself. So
That's awesome.
it's been crazy, dude. Because since the recovery started, like my little circle has really deplenished in like in the best way possible.
Yeah.
Like I don't need I guess in a way from the trauma, dude, I always felt like I think I have like an issue with like abandonment. It's not like my mom abandoned me, she died.
Yeah.
But it's like because of those traumas, it's like I never felt like I could get close with people. So I just kept people like at a distance. And it's been kind of humbling seeing like the people that really do care that like reached out. And like some of them are people that I haven't talked to in a long fucking time, dude. Like I'll shout out Richard and fucking Tanner, dude. Hobo's always been there, and like he's been a big fucking. I've been talking to him a lot more. Like some of my relationships have gotten way better because of it, and some of them have like deplenished because it's like I got clean, and some of it I can't go around people right now because of certain situations. It's too early, and like I hope they understand that in time. But
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
No, it's a good thing to shrink your circle down, I think, because I mean, you don't want to surround yourself with those types of things. You don't want to
Yeah,
bring yourself back into it, but just gives you time to kind of build yourself up and get to where you need to be,
yeah.
So,
Because I think my end goal, honestly, dude, is I want to go into school. I want to spend because you got to have at least 2 years to get your like to get into certain roles in recovery, like helping other people. You
yeah.
got to have at least like 2 years of sobriety. And while I'm doing that, I want to at least get like my AA done. Then I can start working on my bachelor's, become a counselor, and in that time, by the time I'm done with it, the kids are going to be getting close to being adults. I want to honestly move back over towards where I went to treatment at, and I'd like to work at that treatment center because, I mean, what better way to connect with somebody and be like, look, I literally started my recovery journey sitting in that exact chair where you're at. Oh,
No, that's where you do end up anyway.
I went to Recovery Village Ridgefield, so I went
Okay.
across the state, and that was also part of the reason why I did it was in case I got cold feet. I
Right.
couldn't just hey, get me the fuck out of here. Because the
Yes.
people
Wait.
that would drive that far are going to be like, you need to fucking follow this through. It's not going to be like the hood friends. 'Cause, if I'm like a couple hours away, yeah, they'll come get you. But like when you're 6 hours away, good luck.
Right. No, I had a coworker that he had some issues like that, and they sent him over to New York City. It's kind of like you got to have a lot of disbelief in yourself at that point to bring yourself back home away from that treatment facility. 'Cause it's, I mean,
Yeah.
you got to find yourself a way home, or you got to,
Yeah.
do undesirable things,
Yeah.
to get home. So,
Yeah, dude.
you know what I'm saying? But no, dude, I'm proud of you, dude. I'm happy to see
I
things are
appreciate
good.
that.
No, watching your journey of where you were and where you're at right now, and,
Yeah.
and watching your marriage with your significant other here. And I know her name. I'm not
Yeah,
name
no, you're
dropping
good,
her.
dude. Like, I check that out all the time.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing too. Is like, it was a crazy thing, and I've asked her if she wants to come on an episode, and she's not ready to. But I would love to have her come on because of like, I want to talk about like change, and like that's a big fucking change. I got out of treatment, and a month later we got married. You know, so like we had it planned for a year or so before that. But fuck, man, that's a huge change. Like right before like we're gonna get married, we're getting sober. Like just a lot of elements to it, but that's kind of why I want to do the podcast. This is almost like a way to like document it, and like I don't want to just that's been something I've been like making a big point about. It's not just about recovery. I do a lot of shorts and stuff about just pure recovery, but it's not just about recovery. It's about just whatever.
Yeah.
That's just a big aspect of my life, so that's what a big focus.
Somebody listening too, I mean, as you progress with this, and somebody that's listening that might be starting their recovery journey, they can listen to you and knowing that you started this at the beginning of your recovery and seeing your stages. It's a documented history of where you are and where you came. And
Yeah, that's kind of where I had the whole, because I talked about it when I was in recovery. Like they're asking like, what do you want to, what are your goals? What do you want to do afterward? And like this was something I kept talking about. And at first I was like kind of doubting myself. I was saying like, I know I don't have that much time, so I kind of feel like I don't really have, I want to get schooling and all this and stuff and start my podcast. And I had some counselors, like multiple of them, being like, nobody can tell you about your experience. Like you can go to school all you want, but being in it is, you know what I mean?
yeah,
You got to be about it to be about it. And unfortunately, there's so many people that honestly are in recovery, or people that are, like in the addiction already, dude. Like, I had a view of it before I went in, dude. Like, it was like, you're a piece of shit, you're a loser. And then you get in there and realize, like, dude, like, there's lawyers and like fucking
congressman, whatever,
dude. Like, I've been in some groups, man, with people that were in much higher fucking positions than I've ever been, and been like, but that's cool too. It's humbling because you're like, you know what? The motherfuckers in here doing the same thing. Like it makes an even playing field in a sense. Like we're all just human, man.
Yeah. Anybody could fall onto that. I mean, look at, not to turn your recovery subject into something political, but our former president, his son was in the news constantly.
Yeah.
And it's pretty sad. And you know where I stand on politics. But it's sad to watch his journey, and how he got there. He's very crooked. I mean, but even somebody in that status can fall into that type of addiction, and it was bad for him too.
Yeah.
So it can happen to anyone, man.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing about it, about addiction. Period, dude. Is it doesn't give a fuck about your race, your age, your gender. None of that. Your wealth standing. Like none of that shit matters, dude. And it can come out of nowhere. Like I have a few videos that talked about where like you could have parents that never drank, never did drugs, anything, and then you start using, and then you become chemically dependent on it, so then you have an addiction, and now you can start that cycle. And like I used it in a video, and I probably could get critiqued on it because I said like now it's in the blood. I don't mean physically in the blood, but like now it's in that, like, it's in the system, it's in the cycle of your family now.
Yeah.
So you could be passing that down, which is fucking crazy. Then we got the whole thing talking about now with Tylenol and the whole autism thing, and like
that's wild.
Yeah, I haven't. That's one I always say this as a disclaimer. I've not done fucking research on this. I've done even less research on this one, but like they did say, I remember them coming out saying like, "Hey, don't fucking take this shit while you're pregnant."
Yeah.
And now we're seeing like this shit come out. Like that's crazy shit.
It's crazy because everybody. I mean, I have five kids.
Yeah.
Anybody that knows me, pretty much every single one of them, whenever there was a headache or a pain or anything, you go to those doctor's appointments and they tell the mother,
That's what you told.
Take some Tylenol. We don't want to give you any hard drugs. We don't want to give you any oxy for your pregnancy.
Yeah.
Take some Tylenol. It's almost like the mothers be better off taking the oxy at the point.
I mean, if you can give your kid an addiction from fucking an opioid fucking addiction from being pregnant, it makes fucking sense. But that's the thing. So if it's giving kids autism, supposedly,
Yeah.
right? What is that doing to us already? Like, if you're taking it heavily, can that be
Yeah, like you as just a grown
dude?
adult
Yeah.
taking it,
Like, guys, we can't have kids, so if we're fucking taking the pill, is that fucking
it makes you wonder.
yeah?
And
Obviously, it's not going to be as harmful as on like a baby, on especially in the
yeah,
womb. But is that slowly over time? Like, let's say you fucking pop fucking 1,000 milligrams a day, every day for fucking 20.
yeah.
I want to know the science on that.
It'd be good to see the science on it and how
Yeah.
it actually affects that and gives you that result.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's crazy that something so I don't know, juvenile when it comes to drug terms could have that. I mean, we're going from uh, we used to call them crack babies. This generation's gonna call them Tylenol babies. It got me a little bit, dude. I'll tell you what.
So this is gonna sound. I'm gonna lead this off because I know we're gonna get into this, but this is gonna sound. I'm gonna do a weird rabbit hole start to this.
Okay.
So
I'm
because
here for it.
it was a very crazy week the way it all went down because I was trying to get his ass to come on for an episode, which I'm still planning to get him on here. It's just been hard timing it with him. But I had a friend send me a video, and then I saw that, like, this wasn't just a video he found. No, this motherfucking shit was shared on Capitol Hill of the U.S. firing a hellfire at a UFO, UAP, whatever you want to fucking call it, off the coast of fucking Yemen, and it, like, does nothing. It, like, separates into multiple things.
Yeah, I watched the video multiple times.
What the fuck? Now,
well, they describe it when they describe it in the congressional hearings that they've talked to about it. They describe it as an orb.
yeah,
Is what they say.
yeah.
And this orb is traveling at speeds just
Un-
astronomically high.
Yeah.
I don't know the terminology.
Yeah, and it's
don't quote me.
yeah, and then it splits into like there's three little orbs come off of the main orb, and then
Yeah.
it's like, dude, what the fuck? Now I'm not saying that these are like this, that we're gonna get into is like cover ups and stuff, but I'm just saying, isn't it fucking odd? So the fucking same day as like that shit happened, or the day after that. I want to say it was the day after. Now, I didn't write her name down, so that I apologize for that because I'm not saying her name. But the woman that was stabbed on the bus.
Yeah.
Like,
Irina, or man, that's bad of me too, because we should know her name. So much news has passed since that, and it's sad.
It's just a lot to take in, dude.
It's really sad for her case because what happened to her was horrible, and everybody should know her name. But no, continue.
Yeah. So then you have that, and then the next fucking day, you have not only do you have a fucking school shooting in Colorado, but you have Charlie fucking Kirk get shot live in front of fucking an entire campus in Utah. And the reason that I'm bringing this all up and getting into it, like I said, I don't get into politics because I have my own beliefs and stuff like that, but I don't really care to talk about politics. I know that you have your own opinion, which is completely fine. You can talk about whatever you want to talk about with that. I have no issues with that because I'm all about this being an open debate for stuff. Like this is a fucking podcast that if you come on, you can have your opinion. Like I'm not gonna take that from you. No, I'm not gonna shoot you.
I wanted to state that too because this is your podcast that you're kind of wanting to be kind of aimed towards recovery and good things. So I'm going to try my hardest to not get too red pill and too crazy into the politics.
Yeah, well, like I said, you're good because I also like you. You're a great person to bring on because of what you did following all this. So that's why you have better insight than fucking just about anybody I could bring on here.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I want to bring up about it is we talked about this prior before getting on the podcast. Yeah. This is something that is like unprecedented because you had the JFK assassination, you had the MLK assassination. We're not gonna go as far back to say Abraham Lincoln, but you had these assassinations, but you didn't have fucking cameras. You didn't have, dude. Within 15 minutes, we see him squirting blood out of his throat, dude.
Yeah, that was a shot heard around the world in 60 seconds. I mean, I take my lunch break every day at 12:30. Charlie Kirk's shooting took place at 12:23. I sat down and literally.
There it is.
One of my first things I do is I just start checking the news because I'm out of service where I'm at. So we have to go to a spot where we get service. And I tune into, and the very first reel that pops up, it's that first far out shooting. You see the blood squirting, but you saw a shot take off and you saw Charlie Kirk, deflect. So like instantly you're just kind of hoping, somebody shot at him, but maybe he took one to the arm or the chest. And then within 5 minutes, I had people sending me videos of blood squirting out of his neck.
Yeah, up close, and there's different angles.
Yeah.
And so the reason I bring it up is because being someone that went through trauma and shit like that when I was a kid, I saw 9/11. We were
Yeah.
alive for that shit. I remember coming across the fucking. I was playing hooky from school, saying I didn't feel good. I went to go get the mail from my grandma. I'm coming back across the street, and I see my grandma sit forward through the window and like gasp. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I go running back in there and see her like just trembling. I'm like, what's going on? She's like, shh, look. And then that's when they're like, second plane. I'm like, what in the fuck?
There was a first plane. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm in first grade. What the fuck is happening?
Oh man.
And so, like, there's that. But the thing was, it was all news
Yeah.
anchors and, news cameras
You had to wait for the news to say anything.
to say it because that happened. That was still delayed from when it happened.
Yeah, right.
So, what was crazy to me with this whole thing with Charlie Kirk is within minutes.
Yeah.
Everyone has angles. It's unfucking, it's uncensored. It's raw. And to think about the fact that how many kids have access to social media, and we were delinquent ass little bastards, dude. We were watching fucking beheadings and people getting shot and fucking pain Olympics and all these crazy things, and we were looking for that shit.
Right.
Going over to fucking Tim's house and all sitting around a fucking laptop, 12 dudes watching crazy shit. But this is shit that, like, these kids might not have wanted to fucking see that stuff, and because they were going so quick, they weren't even getting censored yet. Later on, they had to be like, hey, this is censored, this is sensitive fucking content, But that wasn't it at first. It was just there.
Well, it's still not even like you go out there and just based off of my history with Facebook, how quickly things get removed and censored and shit like that. I went back into my messenger just to look at the video links that I sent to people of the gruesome image that came out to see if it was taken down, because a lot of times you'll click on those old links and it says this can no longer be found. They're still up, which is crazy. That day, my kids are pretty big into YouTube, and they saw it unwillingly themselves.
Yeah, seeing that right there.
Yeah.
Because your kids, like you said, you got 5. You got a spread from age, and fuck, dude, like that's what I'm saying. This is a shared trauma. That's kind of my point. I mean, like, regardless, I'm not saying that any of the assassinations or any other fucking tragedies that happened prior were not shared traumas, but this is on another magnitude. Is my point. Like, regardless, this shaped.
This didn't just have an internet following audience. This had an audience of 3,000 people live.
Yeah.
Like, completely focused on one individual. There was a kid holding a conversation with him, making eye contact with him as he got shot. He probably watched the life drain out of his fucking face.
Yeah.
The trauma of the people that were there. I mean, you could see the aftermath of things that went on, and people taking videos, and you could see these kids and their hands are shaking, and they're Charlie Kirk just got fucking shot.
Yeah, because like, what the fuck just happened?
They're trembling. If you watch closely the video of the kid that was holding the conversation, his hands go up, and you can see both of his hands at his face shaking, and he like just freezes completely.
Yeah.
Everybody's running around him, but he can't fucking move.
Yeah, like that. And you got to wonder if it crosses his mind, because it's not his fault. But you have to wonder, because the way the human mind works, it's almost like you start to fucking do these things in your head where it's like, it was me he was talking to, he was distracted because of me. You start doing this self-blame thing, and my heart goes out to the kid, because it makes you wonder if that goes through his mind.
Well, he did an interview right after where he spoke about his paranoia, because he was paranoid because he was asking a question about gun violence and transgender people, and as he responds, Charlie gets shot. So in his paranoid mind, he thought these people are going to think I'm part of this, and they're going to come after me and try to kill me, and that's exactly what did happen. I mean, there was conspiracies immediately that this kid asked the question, the old man, what's the distraction for the shooter to get away, and they were all involved, and you never know.
Yeah, dude, there's endless. I've seen so many crazy conspiracies about this. And then I even wrote another one down, because I was just starting to document at this point. So I've got the Hellfire missile, Charlie Kirk shot. The day before that, the woman was stabbed on the bus. The same day as Charlie Kirk shot, you got the school shooting in Colorado. 2 days later, a manager at a fucking motel got his head cut off. That one was like, that popped up on pretty big news for a bit. I mean, it was kind of overshadowed with other things going on. But dude, he got his head cut off because he told dude he couldn't use the washing machine, and dude flipped the fuck out and cut dude's head off.
It's fucking nuts, dude. I haven't heard about that one. They have been so preoccupied with just the first few cycles we had of all this craziness, and it does seem like when big things happen, these things happen as distractions.
Yeah, and that's kind of my point, is like, we just talked about, like, very fucking confirmed, that's a UFO, dude. Like, if it's not us, if it's, I'm not saying it's fucking extraterrestrial. I'm just saying we don't know what the fuck that is, and we just hit it with the best thing we have, and it did nothing.
Bounces off. Those things are precise in the way that when they hit, they impact and they
go in and explode.
they
Like, yeah,
obliterate.
nothing we have can take that.
Yeah, this thing just like pushes it off and just keeps flying about its merry way. And there's congressional testimonies about this, which makes you think that there are ongoing testimonies that aren't going away in front of Congress. It makes you think that
What about the other stuff?
distractions might not be what maybe we're distracting from something else. Maybe the UFO thing itself was a distraction because it used to be that with these UFO sightings that you'd never see it in mainstream news. You'd never see congressional testimonies. You'd never see any of that. It seems like in recent history, it's becoming more of a normal thing that they want you to know about. And
it's almost kind of like they're like warming you up to the idea, like that they're, you know, like there's a lot of conspiracy around this shit, and that's kind of why I wanted to bring that up because with the whole thing, dude, like I said, I want to bring this all up. Conspiracy, shared trauma, and the biggest factor about you being the guest on the show to talk about this is because you were actually at the fucking service for Charlie.
Yeah, we made the 18-hour drive over there. Slept 2 hours a night driving over there. We did this over the course of 3 days where we drove all the way to Phoenix, Arizona, and we drove all the way home within a weekend. And it was insanity to say the least because I mean just getting there itself was a journey. But upon getting there, I mean we go to sleep and we're trying to get some sleep because we were going to go to the event the next morning. In the event declaration or whatever you want to call it, where they sent out memos about what's going on, it said absolutely no camping out outside the event will be allowed, and gates open up at 5 o'clock. So we were like, okay, we got time,
Yeah.
to get in line. Nobody listened, so we go to bed, and I wake up at three in the morning sometime, and I just check my phone, and the first thing I see is a 5 mile line sitting outside Charlie Kirk's funeral, and I'm like, I just drove 20 hours. If I don't get into this ceremony, I'm going to be pretty pissed off.
Yeah.
So I went down there with my dad. I went down there with my sister, and I woke those two up, and I was like, I'm sorry, you got to wake the fuck up.
It's time to go.
We're leaving now. And yeah, man, we got there just in time. We got in this line, 5 mile line, not knowing that if we were going to wait in a 5 hour line and not actually get in, because it's crazy to think that somewhere that has 70,000 seats, you're not going to get in if you go get in line.
Yeah.
This place filled up to capacity before the event even started at 11 o'clock. I think 10 o'clock they were actually at capacity. I mean, that just shows what a big deal this is. I mean, to a lot of people. A couple 100 million people tuned in to the service via web and all that. So it's a big deal. I mean, the overflow also outside the event filled up with like 200,000 people. And it was everything that you kind of hoped it would be. I went into that super nervous that you go to this event where somebody was targeted for their political beliefs. In my mind, I'm thinking if somebody wants to take out 300,000 people that have the same mindset, there you go.
Yeah, you just got a whole grouping of people now.
Not that I'm advocating that. I'm saying that's just my thought process. That's where they're going to target. You're going to have the president. You're going to have the vice president. You're going to have Elon Musk, the most hated man in the world. You're going to have 300,000 people that share an ideology that is different than yours. That's the place to attack. So like that's the shit going to my mind through my mind. But what's also going through my mind is he was killed for these beliefs, and he was willing to die for these beliefs. There was multiple occasions where he was told that his safety wasn't guaranteed when he went to events, and he did it anyways. Really, so when you think about his sacrifice and what he did, whether you agree with him or not, you gotta respect the fact that this dude stood up for his beliefs. He with every bone in his body and to his last breath fought for what he wanted. So those things aside, I was like, we're going. If something happens, something happens. We're not going to let these fucking people scare us. And we went, and it went off without, a single. There was a few rowdy people in the line, because everybody wants to get in. But for the most part, it was peaceful. It was hundreds of thousands of people that were just decent people. The only thing I encountered is when I walked out of the event, there was protesters, and the protesters weren't what you'd think they were. They weren't liberal. That's probably crazy of me to say because you know how much I'm against the other side. But I got to give it to him. There wasn't a single liberal protester. It was hard right wing. A Westboro Baptist church sitting outside the facility. They had signs up that said "Rotten hell, God hates you." Basically, one lady tried to interact with them, and they were super nasty. A pregnant lady tried to interact with these people and tell them how disgusting they were, and they told her that they hoped their baby died.
Holy shit!
You're like,
dude.
you are supposedly Christian people that are at this event, because there is a side. I don't know if you know who Nick Fuentes is. He's a hard right winger. They're at odds with Charlie Kirk because he wasn't right wing enough, not racist enough, not crazy enough. So that just goes to show what a decent guy Charlie actually was. I mean, he did what he needed, what he wanted to do with decency. 9 times out of 10, beat the other side with his arguments, so people hated him. So, I mean, if you're losing all the time, everybody fucking hates Tom Brady because he wins. Charlie Kirk is the Tom Brady of debates, the master debater.
My point is like, I'm not saying that like I agreed with everything you said, because there's some things I did disagree with. There's some things I did agree with.
Right.
But my fucking point is, we live in fucking America.
Right.
First fucking amendment is the freedom of speech. And regardless if I agree with him or not, he should be allowed to say what the fuck he.
Right.
You know?
And the man, he had one of the biggest microphones in the world. And Trump actually said it best at the funeral is he's like, this man had the biggest microphone in the world, and what did he do every day? He handed it to the other side.
Yeah.
And he let them speak.
Regardless if you fucking like him or not, he didn't just say, no, I don't believe you, fuck you.
Right.
He allowed them to say their fucking part, dude.
He gave
regardless.
he gave these kids a voice, and he targeted college campuses because these are the kids that are going to grow up and run our society. So it's like, he was targeting at the source.
Yeah, and in a way, it's empowering. It's letting them have a voice, letting them know that they're heard. Like, they do have, like, even if he's arguing with you, how many times did he say, like, I see your point?
Right.
He didn't always just say, like, oh, you're wrong. He would say, I disagree. Just because he disagrees doesn't mean that he has to say that, like, we can agree to disagree. And we can have different opinions. It's not something that somebody should fucking get shot over, dude. Right. Like, that's the part that fucking blows me away, is that someone's life was taken. But look at the people that I stated earlier. JFK was fucking talking about outing fucking some behind the scenes political shit. Killed him.
His biggest thing was trying to bring an end to the Vietnam War, in the war machine, and a lot of people, if you deep dive and you want to go down the rabbit hole, researching Lyndon B. Johnson was his vice president at the time, very pro-war, very against any of the Vietnam War, had a very high stake in the war machine.
Yeah.
And then you see his brother, which was his attorney general, Bobby Kennedy Sr., he runs for president, about to win the Democratic primary for the election, shot in the back of the fucking head at the end of the convention. That family, that has got to be one of the worst luck family, next to Bruce Lee and his family, because I think there's a curse on Bruce Lee's family too. Dude, nobody's worse than the Kennedys.
I do have to ask something though, because you were there, and it's something that when I seen it, I was like, what is that about? Why did Charlie's wife come out on stage like fucking Cody Rhodes making his entrance at WrestleMania?
I've seen that. I've seen parody videos of that where she walks out, or where it's a female wrestler walking out, and then it's got a caption that says "Welcome to my husband's funeral."
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
Part of that goes back, if you watch Charlie Kirk's events that he did and the way that he did things, he always liked people to come out to fireworks, and that was always his big thing.
Because America
freedom. It was part of something that he did and something that he liked to do. If you watch the speech where Bobby Kennedy comes and endorses Donald Trump and they shake hands, that moment and the bringing those two together into a unity of a Democrat and a Republican coming together on a ticket and creating the unity party, basically, is what Charlie was working towards. Long story short, he was all about, the fireworks and stuff like that, and I think they were just honoring her husband in the way that he liked to do things.
I haven't watched I haven't watched the service. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I have any room to dissect it, but I saw the clips of this, and I'm like,
and on video, if you're watching that and you see that, it looks like that. If you were in that room and you
understood it,
you felt the energy of the people, and
it was empowering.
It was one of the most powerful things I've ever experienced. I mean, I'm a very conservative person, and I've never, and this is just who I am. I've never been big into religion of any sorts. But if I ever had a moment where I had to say I felt God, you felt God in that room.
Yeah,
was in that room. I mean, it was a powerful experience.
I will say too, to go along with that, dude, in treatment was told over and over and over, you got to follow this higher power as you understand him, God as you understand him. And I had to go over the word God. And I started looking for my own higher power. And there's things that in the world that we don't control. You know what I mean? And there came a time where it was like just deja vu of certain things happening, like in just quick succession of it was like, I don't know how to describe it, besides it was like there was something like telling me like, with dreams, certain interactions that were happening. And when you have that feeling, it's almost like undoubtable, like you feel something. Whatever it is, you feel it.
I can honestly say since his death, and I don't know what it is, and I can't tell you if it's just persuasion of what's going on and the speeches you hear, because most of them they involve God,
Yeah.
involve speeches. There's been something calling to you, and you see the revival of Christianity, and you look at posts all over the country talking about how churches are filled to capacity. Something's happening.
Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of people talking about the fact, like, people are turning to God now because you can just feel the negative energy in the world, and like the hate and like the demonic style fucking things that are happening. So that's why people are turning more to God. And like, I'm not gonna sit here and say that I believe in, and like, I don't want to like diss, because who the fuck do I? I don't know shit. I'm not disproving any or disbelief to anyone's their religion, their belief themselves. But I do feel that there is some force of, like, I almost just think it's like everything we do is like the butterfly effect. If I fucking do something, it plays into it. So if we're putting a bunch of negativity in the world, negative shit's gonna come back out of it.
Right.
And I want to do as much as I can to put good into the world. So if I can take my shitty fucking experience through my childhood, my addiction, and all the things I've learned, if I can take that and help one other person, and all that's worth it. And going back to Charlie Kirk with what he did, regardless if you liked the man or not, he gave people a voice, he gave them an opportunity, and he spoke his mind. And with that being said, he did what he believed what he was doing good to help people. And as long as you're not hurting someone else, what the fuck does it matter?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Going back to him, it's just he was just trying to have a conversation.
Yeah.
He just wanted to talk to you.
And
There was no violence. There was no. Sometimes things got a little heated in arguments, but he was never hateful. He never cursed at people. He never, on most occasions, tried to not put them down as they.
I was
said
very
what they wanted to say.
I'm confused about something. I've seen a lot of people online trying to say like he was racist, but I've seen all I've ever seen. And only thing I can think is if you're not watching the whole
It's context.
debate.
Context matters.
Yes, if you're not taking the full thing, understanding the whole thing, yeah, you can twist anyone's words. You can twist what I'm saying right now. If you clip some certain things, you can fucking twist everything I'm saying to make me sound horrible.
Right.
It's easily done.
Like,
but if you watch everything, and like, I'll watch a segment and people say like, oh, this is where it was, and I'll go back, I'll find that segment and watch the whole fucking context of it. He didn't believe in race.
No,
his whole thing was we all have the same. We're all the same. We're all human. Right. We just had the different, the different skin tone.
Yeah, you wanted to get to a point where people didn't see race.
Yeah,
it's almost like there's a lot of people profiting off of
segregation,
race relations, and segregation, and stuff like that. I mean, you look at there's a whole rabbit hole that we probably don't have time for. Man, I could get into some stuff, so I'll probably have to come on at a later episode.
Yeah, I know, dude. I want to get more people back on. That's been kind of the thing. This is episode 4, and I've had plans to have other people come back on. I have another one planned for some people that are doing music and stuff to have them come on. But I want to just have people come back because, I mean, dude, I've got a whole book full of other random shit. Like, I'll hit you with one. We'll kind of lighten the mood with one of my random ones. That way I can kill this whole page. Domino's UK released a limited edition pepperoni passion pizza inspired cologne scent that sold out in 3 hours.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what the fuck's wrong with people. You see stuff like that, man.
Like,
it's like,
bro, we got fucking things like fucking Tylenol giving kids fucking the tism. We got people getting shot, but we're fucking making goddamn pizza cologne, boy.
Those people's parents took too much fucking Tylenol. Is what's going on.
Bro,
right there.
And the fact that it sold out in 3 hours.
Yeah, that's fucking
nuts.
Crazy. Yeah, we are at this rate, and we are doomed as a society. Too much Tylenol, I think, is what's going on. Man, I don't even know where to start with that one. That's freaking crazy.
No, so I'm saying I have a bunch of random ones I wrote down. Like, just I like to hit the news and just see random fucking shit. There was one thing.
Me and my coworkers end up listening. I have a couple coworkers that kind of smell like pepperoni passion naturally.
Hell yeah!
Maybe it's a copied scent. Who knows what's going on?
They got that natural fucking pepperoni musk.
Oh shit! No, but going back to the context thing, because I really want to cover that.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of stuff with Kirk that he was taken out of context on, and I'm probably one of his biggest advocates. So if there's anybody listening that has those thoughts about racism, sexism, any of that shit with that guy that you've seen videos that are taken out of context. I'll do an episode where whoever wants to come on, I'll debate those topics with them,
Yeah,
because
well,
there's so much stuff that's been taken out of context, the DEI stuff, the racism stuff, and you see those clips, and it's infuriating to see that a man that live could have defended himself so well that now you have these people in his death, now that they know that he can't stand up for himself, they're going after his legacy.
well,
I
dude.
just want to say he's got tens of millions of people that are willing to defend that legacy.
Well, I'm just saying, has not
Yeah.
everyone at some point in their fucking life said something wrong? Like
Right.
they're trying to go back to when he was in like high school, when he was a kid. Dude,
Like,
we used to say fucking fucked up shit. I'll fucking put myself out there. I used to say fucking because it was a cool thing to do, to try to be as edgy and say his most fucked up shit.
right, that was us, man.
Listen to fucking Head PE. Man can go fuck itself.
You look back at that now, and you're like,
I'm a piece of shit. We used to tell dead baby jokes.
right? No,
That
dude,
shit's fucked up, dude. I'm sorry. Like,
the context things, that's one topic that's kind of had me worried. When I walked out of that ceremony and I saw those protesters,
yeah.
they had a sign that said "God hates fags."
Oh my god.
So I walk out of the protest and I have my middle finger up and I was like, "You're all fags," to these people. And I thought maybe that I was going to get a snippet of myself on the news calling a bunch of Democrat protesters fags. I was just waiting for it, man, because I was like, man, they're going to come after me and try to cancel me. I was like, if that ever pops up, let's go back to this podcast and let the record show that I was calling people that were calling fags. I called them fags, gave them the middle finger.
It's like South Park, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you guys fags, it's just bikers.
Oh man, dude, yeah.
Hey,
South Park, man,
that's so. This is kind of funny because South Park is always going to kind of have like an undertone, like an underlying tone in this podcast for some reason. Because I talked about it in episode 1, and then Charlie Kirk gets fucking killed. We talked about Charlie Kirk because I was like,
episode 1, man.
I didn't even know his name. I knew of him, but I didn't know who he was. Like, I didn't know. And then Tanner was the one that was like, dude, Charlie Kirk, he does some bait. He kind of talks. He's like, I've seen some clips. I'm not. He's kind of like me. He's like, I don't agree with everything he said, but like, he has strong points. He argues it well. He's good at debating. And then fucking, because it was the master debater fucking episode. And then they fucking kill him. And then they're trying to say like, oh, we need to take that episode down. But Charlie Kirk fucking said
he loved it.
Like, what is that shit?
He loved it, dude. He did a whole episode where he talked about it. He loved it. He was talking about, man, I do the water bottle thing.
Yeah.
I do all that. I do debate with a cough drop in my mouth, and I make the weird shit with my mouth. And yeah, he loved it. That's why
they went into detail. They fucking studied him, and then they fucking made
Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, like, and they did it good. I mean, dude, it's kind of like a rite of passage, dude, to get fucking mocked.
You get on South Park, you've made it.
Yeah, dude, and then they tried to talk about, like, them being, they had that delay from the last episode, and people were trying to speculate that it was because of that, and they're like, no, a lot of shit was going on. Right. We didn't get it done.
Right. Did you see the latest episode? Oh, man.
Dude, this season's wild.
It's out of control. The way they depicted Donald Trump, the whole, hello, every time he picks up the phone, and the FCC chairman, that's,
oh my god,
comedic gold.
It's great.
Coming from somebody that's having his whole side be targeted by these episodes, I love it.
Dude, it's fucking funny, regardless.
So I have friends that are extremely liberal that I keep in contact with constantly, so we keep ourselves grounded, and they tried to take a shot at me because those episodes, because I love South Park so much. They're like, oh, your boy's targeting your boy, and I'm like, no, dude, it's hilarious. I love it. It's what it is. They're gonna go after your side twice as hard. That's what they do. They're amazing at it.
Yeah, dude, nobody's safe.
Nobody's safe.
Dude, Jesus telling everybody shut the fuck up, they're gonna get canceled was the fucking funniest shit.
Oh, and dude, the Jesus thing, he's the new school counselor.
I love it.
Because he got fired.
But okay, gotta bring that up. So, with the commercials that they're talking about, where Mr. Mackey's like, I gotta get my nut, and they're fucking talking about $50,000 sign on, I have seen that commercial 5,000 times.
Like the actual commercial talking about the $50,000 sign on?
Like,
I thought about joining.
Up to $50,000, bro.
$50,000 and $120,000 a year, just for anybody listening. If you're looking for a good, yeah, it's there. Some of the people they're hiring less than desirable.
Yeah,
just because they're trying to hire. I'll admit that they're trying to bring so many people on at once. I don't know if you saw that video where they were trying to detain a guy, and the cop drops his gun, and then he picks his gun up and then starts pointing it at the crowd because that guy, you could tell, was inexperienced. Look for that video; you'll have to find it. So there's criticism there that's valid. The general thing that they're trying to accomplish is good, but I think trying to do it a little too fast.
Dude, the fucking ad itself though is fucking insane.
Yeah.
It's like, dude,
Kristi Noem's just
Dude, they're like,
Yeah.
take out the illegals. They're like, fucking let the cops be cops. Join ICE and fucking, like, what is it? Like, achieve the goal you've always known you needed. It's just like, why? Like, what the fuck was that?
Well, the way that South Park
They were so accurate.
well, they depicted her every 5 seconds. Her face starts to melt away, and they have to like do her. They bring a whole makeup crew and they do her up because she always looks perfect, like a baby doll, like a Barbie doll.
Yeah.
Like, and you're like, man, like she'll be doing a fucking raid with ICE, and she's got like perfect manicured, perfect hair, perfect everything. It's like
Darth Vader coming in, dude.
Yeah, it's like, god damn, dude, she's a hardcore woman. Definitely
Shit's
wouldn't
crazy.
want her and her team looking for me. That's for sure.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like I said, going back to like the whole wrap of this thing is, I want to see what happens. Like, I want to bounce back because I mean, fuck, dude. Like I said, episode 4. Maybe it'll be episode fucking 144, 444. I don't know, but I want to see what the massive fucking effect of like this trauma is going to be for us as a society. As dude, the whole world was affected by it.
Right.
Like we all saw it. It was traumatizing. Somebody, it was grotesque. Yeah. It was very gruesome.
You don't see that every day. It's somebody spewing blood from their neck.
Dude, and I've seen a lot of motherfucking dudes get shot in videos and shit. Like looking at stuff overseas, like like war fucking videos and stuff. Not like that. Like that was.
That's going to be a share. And I think that's part of what, going back to earlier, I was saying people are feeling something and they don't know what it is, whether it be, a calling to religion or whatever, because people are feeling something.
Yeah.
And part of it might be what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's a fucking trauma. Regardless, dude, this wasn't good. Yeah. I don't care if you liked him or not. It was not good. A man was shot in front of a bunch of fucking kids. Dude, you're talking about a bunch of smart-ass kids in college. They're going to be shaping the fucking future and are traumatized by this.
Well, that's one thing. I visited the college on the way home.
Yeah.
And I was walking that courtyard, is what they call it out there, and you could just see it in the kids' faces. Just depression, and like they just went through something horrible. And it's just this dark, you step into campus and it's just this dark, gloomy feeling of just, it's depressing.
Think about that too. You're going to school, your life's looking bright, you're going to fucking college, like you're supposed to be like your wild years, you're getting ready to set your life up, and then fucking dude gets shot.
Right.
Now you don't even want to be at, think about your feelings, like, fuck, I don't even want to be here, like, that's going to detour your drive to fucking succeed at your fucking, academic path. You're going to be fucking, like, I don't want to walk out in that courtyard, like, it's going to give you fucking PTSD triggers.
Right. Well, that's one thing that I was going to say is I'd be really curious to see this time next year what this year's transfer rates look like from that college.
Yeah.
I bet you a bunch of kids leave that school.
Well, fucking A, I mean, I'm not sitting here saying like, oh, I just go through it. I don't think I could, somebody got shot, I'd be like, I need to just go, because that's all you're going to think about being there.
Well, every time you walk past that area, it's just going to be the first thing on your mind. They had to go as far as tearing out the entire landscape of the area, which is also kind of shady. I won't get into that, but they tore out the grass, they tore out all the landscape in the area, they put pavers in, they redid everything in the area, maybe an attempt to add, some sense of normalcy or
yeah, you could go that route, and you could also go the conspiracy route, because there's that whole conspiracy of a second shooter from that other angle. When you see something come down at him from behind him, from his back right, what better way if there was to try and get rid of that bullet that went down motherfucking ground? Because I'm just saying, dude, like, I'm just saying, that's very odd for it to spray where it came in.
I don't buy the second shooter conspiracy. I've been on the conspiracy topics quite a bit. The conspiracy that makes most sense to me is the one that I think I sent you. You look back to Israel targeting Hamas, and do you ever see the event where they did the pagers, the exploding pagers, and they took out like 1,000 Hamas leaders in like the course of like 5 minutes with exploding pagers. There's a conspiracy out there and there's a video on it, and I don't know if later on when this goes live, I can post the link in the comments. Yeah. But there's a conspiracy that the lavalier lapel mic that he's got on his shirt had a projectile in it, and it exploded, and they're talking about the reason with that 30-06 you would have seen an exit wound.
Yeah, that's my whole thing. Dude, if there was an exit wound, the FBI could disprove it. Show the fucking exit wound.
But you look at this video, it would make sense that if that Mike, this conspiracy is true, the wound you see is the exit wound, and the projectile comes from the lavalier Mike. And you look at the video, and I'm not trying to go deep into conspiracy because I don't
You
like
see
to
the
look
whole
like a
cord and
crazy
everything
person.
jump.
You see his fucking shirt where his mic is pop out like 6 inches.
You can see the outline. If I've seen like people go in and like high res it, it's the cord that's come up wrapped around because he runs it on the back.
Yeah.
And it comes up and it's draped over his shoulder, and it's fucking. You see the whole cord, so you see the cord jump. But if you think about it, if he got hit and he went like this, the cord's gonna move. But I don't think you're gonna see that much of the cord, the whole fucking thing perfectly.
Yeah.
It just something about it just don't make sense.
All the inertia comes from his shirt and not from his neck. And then
Yeah.
you saw something pop off the back, and everybody said that it was sprayed blood. And
Nah, dude, that's his earpiece.
well, it's anybody that's following Candace Owens right now because she's on a warpath.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of shit from her.
This was her best friend. So, if she got footage from Turning Point USA, she wasn't able to obtain the footage, but she was able to FaceTime with Turning Point, and they showed her the footage through FaceTime because they wouldn't send it to her. But she saw the rear footage, and she put a pin in the fact that that was anything other than that was his necklace shooting off the back of his neck, which is also very weird that your necklace could be blown
His
off.
necklace, but you can see it like connected here, and it's bold, like it's got like a bulge to it. Like
I don't know. They're just saying, and she's one that I kind of trust on the subject because she's the most skeptical person of everything going on at this point. She says, I've seen this footage and it's his necklace. But why the fuck would his necklace blow off of his neck?
Yeah.
So you're like, that makes it even more weird, and that makes me feel.
Because if he got shot, either way, it's gonna go and just drop. It's not gonna fucking fly off.
So I encourage anybody to watch that footage though of the mic topic because, and then he talks about, he's like, at first we had exploding pagers and now we have exploding mics, and the reason this makes sense and the reason I'm bringing up Israel and Hamas is because prior to his death, before his death, he was beefing with Israel, and his security detail is an Israeli security detail. It all seems a little shady. So when you start getting this conspiracy world, it kind of makes sense that something like that would happen. And then you just never know. But it's things that, I mean, we had a president assassinated, and it's been 60 years, and we have no knowledge of it. So
Exactly.
Charlie Kirk is no president. He's obviously very popular. I mean, you've seen lately, but I mean, we are in different times though, so maybe things will happen quicker.
I don't know. I don't feel like we'll ever get the truth.
Probably not.
Of it. No. Like, I don't think that we'll actually get the whole solid truth, but I do 100%. I will say flat out that I don't think that what they're telling us is the truth.
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
It seems a little bit weird, and the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, she's very shady in the way that she suppressed the Epstein files, and then you look at Kash Patel, the FBI head, who was supposed to be a friend of Kirk's, but his end seems really shady too. So
it's always your friends that'll fucking.
It's weird, man. But I think a lot of people want to believe conspiracies because it keeps the story alive.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah, that's true too.
Because it's like we don't ever stop talking about Charlie because we're always going to have conspiracies about him. And it's been the same thing for JFK. It's been the same thing for MLK. It's been the same for RFK. Abraham Lincoln. So I don't think there was a whole lot of conspiracy behind Abraham Lincoln. I think
that was pretty.
people just didn't want their slaves taken away.
Dude walked out, shot him in the back of the head. But I mean, I don't know, man. I think just with the whole thing in whole, I think the best way to wrap it up here is to say, I want to see where the mass trauma goes.
Yeah.
I don't think that we'll ever actually see the truth of what happened in all reality. We might have a chunk of it, but I don't think there's, I don't think all of it's there.
I don't think it's ever all going to come out. It's just going to be something that we live with, and
yeah.
And then,
like I said, I want to see in due time what the changes. I mean, the effect of the school, the way, I just want to see what happens. Like I said, maybe there's a good reason why I want to go to school for this kind of stuff, because the sociology behind it it's going to affect it regardless. It's a ripple effect.
Yeah. Well, to end this on a less depressing note from all the stuff we talked about, the sociology thing is that you were talking before. That's the path you want to take this podcast. Is you want to get into that, and you want to take this podcast in a route where you could.
Well, I want to
bring people on and help people.
Essentially, I mean, what I want to do is I want to take what I'm doing and be able to I want to take the knowledge I have, because I want to help people in recovery. So I want to become an actual counselor, but then I also want to have the podcast on the side and do stuff.
Yeah.
And be able to see what I can do with this to help, especially with having the backing. Because I mean, regardless, the whole concept of this is The number one thing to talk about with recovery is you have to do it for you. This is helping me with my recovery by talking about other people, bringing other people on, even with you coming on and saying like, I appreciate what you said about, your view of my recovery and stuff. It's helpful for me. So same thing as what you said is to anybody else that's out there that's listening, that if you're in recovery, you just started recovery, you've been in recovery for years, you're thinking about getting in recovery, you need recovery, whatever it may be, if this helps in any way, shape, or form, it's worth it.
Yeah.
That's, it's a win-win. Like
Right.
it doesn't, and if it doesn't help anybody for fucking 20 years, it's not hurting anybody.
Yeah. No, I appreciate what you're doing. As you know, I'm not trying to pat myself on that. I've never struggled with personally.
Yeah.
Have been affected by it earlier on in this year. Of course, I lost my brother to a fentanyl overdose. I mean, on that note, I'd just like to say for anybody listening, that's a very dark path to send your family down. The things that go along with that, because a lot of time, if you do survive, results in brain death. Which is what happened to him. You're putting your family through that kind of trauma in the instance of the initial event, but then the things that follow, your family having to sit through organ transplant meetings and just really hard stuff that you don't want to put your family through.
That's the thing about addiction, dude. It doesn't just affect you. You don't have to have addiction for addiction to affect you.
Right.
And that's another thing is I want to try to. There is a type of. It's not really a 12-step, but it's called ACA. It's alcohol. It's adult children of alcoholics, and I really want to get into some groups that I want to start getting into some Zoom calls and stuff because that's something I really want to focus on because I am adult child of alcoholics, but I'm also the adult that caused my kids to in turn be. Regardless, they had to grow up and they saw some shit, dude. They saw me trash. They seen, highs, lows. They've seen bad shit. So unfortunately, it's just the truth of it.
If there's one good thing that's come out of that, though, you got really good kids and they seem very strong, and maybe some of that's contributed to that in a good way.
Hopefully, I can show them that you can overcome these things. That's the whole thing. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you can't take things back. It happened. And all I can do is try to take what I experienced and express it. And hopefully in turn, they'll see don't take the cheap way out like I did. Don't try to mask it, dude. If you don't fucking take it for what it is and actually feel it, because some people use fucking, it doesn't have to be a substance. It doesn't have to be drugs. It doesn't have to be alcohol. It could be gambling, sex, fucking.
Yeah, whatever.
I've seen TV shows where some people eat, this chick calls it cushion. She eats fucking stuffing out of, that's an addiction, bro. It's wild, but it's true.
But they're gonna, I mean, it takes a very strong person to come out the other side, and them seeing you do that, I think is gonna be.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the biggest things too. Is I thought about it. Is is it smart for me to put myself on the pedestal in a sense, not on a pedestal, but on a soapbox and talk about recovery? What if I fucking relapse? But the way I look at it is I'm not gonna change it if I do. If I was to relapse, I'm still gonna come right back on here. I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna stay on the. The biggest thing is, man, I got fucking tattooed across my chest, dude, and it's not because I think I'm an actual cowboy. It's because that's what you fucking do. You get knocked the fuck off the horse, you dust yourself off, you get back up, and you do it again.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the reason it's on my chest, because that way I can't look at myself in the mirror every morning and not see it.
Right.
If I like it or not. So I got the tattoo behind my neck, dude, that fucking spider. My brother was like, what, do you think you was a prison? I'm like, no, dude, it's a reminder that poison's still right there. Just because I can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. And that's the whole point of it. So
that's cool, man.
But yeah, man. No, I really appreciate you taking the time to come by. I know you got to go fucking make a trip for work and stuff. I want to have you back on again.
No, yeah. I look forward to a future conspiracy episode.
You bet your ass.
That was good.
All right, man.
Proud of you, man.
Thank you very much.